Hey guys, it's me again. So I just wanted to remind you of some of the vocabulary words that are on Quizlet and can be found if you go to Edmodo. You can link to the set and practice them a little bit. I will be posting a quiz on these words for Friday. And again, don't sweat it if you need to take it again, but it's really just a way for you to like check what you know and see if you're keeping up with stuff. I know that I don't have stuff coming at you super fast because technically we were supposed to kind of keep people just up to date with what we'd already done, but I'm really finding it hard to just do that because I want to be able to move you guys forward with your drawing if you want to be able to do that. So plumb is pure vertical, and it's used for all your edges that hold your structures up at corners, right? So basically anything that goes straight up and down is what we call plumb. Carpenters use this term all the time. If things weren't plumb, then your house wouldn't stand up properly. And then a plane is a flat surface with all points using the same vanishing point. So like this little plane going back in space, right, is one surface facing a certain direction. And so sometimes in my videos, I might talk about planes going in different directions, right? Like one wall and then another wall. So if you think of this whole entire assignment as different planes, that will help you if you do decide at some point to add shading, or we scan them when we come back to school and add color or whatever. Just knowing that like different planes face different directions will help you. So those are just a couple of the words, and that list will grow as we do more videos. So your thought for this video is basically a peaceful place. So it says, commune with your own heart and in your chamber and be still. And this is an English, basically a book of common prayer. So all these little pearls of wisdom from my little book here are just things to kind of think about. And so I think it's important to find ways to keep yourself centered in your own heart and in your own mind as all this wackiness is happening. Hopefully you're healthy and everybody in your family is healthy. But it can be very daunting, and especially if you listen to the news, which I have kind of stopped doing, except when I really want to know like if there's anything new that I should know about. But it's really easy to get in your head. So try not to do that. Try to stay focused on taking care of yourself, taking care of the people you care about, and finding ways to bring yourself, some peace, whether it's to make your favorite cup of tea, or do some drawing in your sketchbook, or take your dog for a walk, or whatever, things that are really going to kind of help you, know that it's okay, right? That we're all going to be okay. We're going to get through this weirdness, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. So here we go. So the last video I showed you how to make a box inside of a plane that essentially is going to be a stained glass window or a sliding glass window. And now what I'm trying to do is give it some thickness, because life isn't made out of popsicle sticks and paper, right? It's made out of things that have thickness and dimension. So what I've already done here without you guys seeing is I've decided how thick I wanted this to be, and I go from the corner of the sliding glass door back to the opposite vanishing point. So you see the little arrow that's pointing here? That means that went back to the opposite vanishing point, because anything that's perpendicular to this wall has to go to the other vanishing point, because everything on this wall went to that side. So I went just a little ways back, and then I decided how thick I wanted that to be by going to the opposite vanishing point. Okay, so remember what I've told many of you is that basically everything you draw is going to go straight up and down or to your vanishing points, except for things like a roof peak or something that's at a weird angle. But if it's at a 90-degree angle, it's straight up and down, or it's going to one of your vanishing points. So I went through this little line that I made to decide how thick I wanted my sliding glass door to be. And I feel like they're generally pretty thick things, so I made that threshold pretty big. You wouldn't necessarily have to do that with all doorways and things, but like if this were just a regular door, like a wooden door in your house, you still want some thickness to the door casing. And you want enough of it so that you can see it in your drawing. Then to make this thickness, I'm going to use whatever I have to make, oh no! To make 90-degree angles. I did zoom in a little bit on my video so that you could see a little bit better. I haven't figured out yet if I can zoom the camera, so I just brought it down closer. All right, so there is that thickness. You may have also noticed that I erased my X in the middle here. I'm just, as I'm going, I'm trying to kind of clean up the drawing so that it doesn't get too cluttered with things. And so now you can see, right, that there is thickness here. You don't see the top of this because it's not above your eye level. Remember, the horizon line is your eye level, okay? And so you don't see this kind of a corner at the top because it's out of view, right? It's not where you can see it. And you don't see this corner because, again, that's also out of view. It's turned slightly away from you. I may take this guy back to the vanishing point because windows, sliding glass windows typically are going to overlap each other kind of like this. And so, but of course, this is your invention, so your window can do whatever you want it to do. It could be like French doors that swing open. But I'm going to draw that thickness so that we can see that there is some thickness there. And I'm going to make another plumb line that shows that thickness so that we get the idea that this is kind of glass planes that are going to slide together. Things like door handles and stuff like that, I would hold off on unless you have a reference and you really like it. And I didn't really show anybody how to do curves yet, so I will do an episode of that probably tomorrow, but that's a lot more complex. You can see I did it up here and I didn't actually do it properly. So I will probably redo that so you can see how to do curves, right? So that's how you're going to get your thickness in there, and then add details if you wish. Now, right now, this doesn't have any kind of frame to it. It's literally like shower doors, right? There's no wooden frame or metal frame to these sliding glass doors, and they typically will have something like that. So again, that's the same kind of thing. Like you're going to build up from the edges again, and I'll add to that. I will create that for you, and then I'll show you how I got there.